Shabbat Shalom, my name is Uriel Romano, and once again I'm working here at Hillcrest Jewish Center with Rabbi Manes Cohen. And today I wanted to share with you some comments and some thoughts about Parashat Yitro. We are in the middle of the book of Shemot, of the book of Exodus. But I don't want to speak to you today about Exodus, but about Shemot, the names. And I want to talk to you about the name of the main character, maybe, of this Torah portion. It's called Yitro. And Yitro, as you may know, was the father-in-law of Moses, Rabbeinu, of Moses, our teacher. And something very interesting about Yitro, that he was a Kohen. He was a priest, but not a Jewish priest, but a polytheistic priest of the land of Midian. And the question is why he deserves to get a name of one of the most important parashiot and Torah portions in the whole Torah. Because in this Torah portion, in Yitro, that is taken by his own name, we have the revealing of the Ten Commandments, the Matan Torah in the middle of the desert. So why Yitro? And I want to talk to you not only about Yitro, but the 6 other names that he receives. Because according of the Jewish tradition, and the rabbis found that in the Torah, Yitro is referred in 7 different ways. And I really fast, with the help of something that will come over here downstairs, I want to look all the names of Yitro and try to figure something interesting about this idea of having different names. So the first name that he receives is Reuel, Re'aya El, the friend Re'eh of El, of God. Because Yitro, at one time, he decided to convert to Judaism when he sees all the wonders and all the miracles that God do to the Jewish people. And he changed his name and he becomes a friend of God. Re'aya El, Reuel, that's the first name. The second name is Yeter. And why Yeter? Because the meaning of Yeter in Hebrew is to add. Because according to the rabbis, for his own merit and his own good deeds, he added a new Parsha, a new portion in the Torah. That is the portion that he describes how the legal system should be in the Jewish tradition. So that's the name Yeter, the second name. Let's go to the third name, the name that we know, Yitro. Why Yitro is an important name? Because according to the Torah, any time and every time that someone changed his attitude and he changed his way of life, his name is also changed. Just remember for 1 second Abram and Abraham, or Sarai and Sarah. And over here he changed his name from Yeter, and they added one more letter, Yitro, the Vav at the end. Let's go for a couple more. Chovav, the loving one, Lechaver, because he loves the Torah and he loves the Jewish people and he loves his family, and he decides to uproot his whole world behind to go and to stay with the people and the ideas that he loved. That's why he's called Chovav, the loving one. We have also Hever, that the word Hever is very close to the word Haver, friend. He's a friend of the Jewish people. He's a friend of Moses, and he's one of the most important advisors of Moses. That's why he's called Hever, like Haver, like a real good friend. We have 2 more. Keini. And Keini maybe is one of the most beautiful ones, because Keini has the same root in Hebrew that the word liknot, to buy, to get something for yourself. And the rabbis tell us that the most important thing that we should get in our life is a good name. A good name, says Shlomo HaMelech, is more important than the best oil that we could have. So that's why Keini, because he's got to himself a good name because of all his good deeds. And the last one is Putiel, because he niftar, he went away from all the Avodah Zarah, all the polytheistic world he used to live, to interact and to get together with the Jewish people. So these are the 7 names. Let's do it. Reuel, Yeser, Yitro, Chovav, Hever, Keini, and Putiel. And the question is, why someone should have 7 names? One name is not enough? Just think for one moment. What is your name? What's the name that you have? What's the name that you want people to call you? And according to the rabbis, a colorful life is lived with many names. Because we do not only have the name that appears in our documents or in our passports, but we have other names. Dad, mom, grandpa, teacher, rabbi, judge, doctor, uncle. What's the name that we receive is the name that people call us for our different aspects of life. We receive different names. And according to the Midrash, during our whole life, we receive 3 names. The first name is the one that we get from our parents. The name that appears in our documents that we get in our Brit Milah or in our Simchat Bat. That's the first name, but it's not the only one. Then we have another name, that is the name that maybe we could call it the nickname. The name that our friends call us. Because they see something special in ourselves and they call us in that specific name. And the last name, and maybe the most important name, is the name that we acquire for ourselves. What's the name that we give to ourselves with our deeds and our action in this world? So I just want to finish here, just to thinking that Yitro had 7 names. How many names do we have? I hope you have an excellent Shabbat and see you next week.